Hey guys, Angry Monkey here with another Retro Game Treasure unboxing video. This came like Saturday, and I'm just now getting around to recording it. And, well, I'm just now getting around to uploading it when you're watching it, I guess. So what this is a video game subscription service that's sent to your house every month that gives you 3 to 5 games to add to your personal collection. This is not a rental service, you get to keep these games. And these games come from a variety of different consoles, all depending on how you fill out the survey. So you can fill out stuff as old as the Atari 2600 or the Intellivision. They have all the Nintendo stuff from the NES all the way up to the Wii. So NES, Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, and Wii, as well as the portable line of the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 3DS, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Game Gear, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4, plus the PSP, as well as the original Xbox, the Xbox 360, and the Xbox One. So, yeah, there's a lot of consoles that you can get games for, and you'll only get games for those consoles that you check off on the survey. I'll get back to the survey in a minute, but a couple other things I want to point out to you guys is, let's just say you have a very big game collection like I have, and you're like, well, how do I avoid duplicates? Well, they got you covered there because they have a checklist feature where you can check off all the games that you already have, so that way you don't get a duplicate. But one thing that you got to make sure that you do is you check off all versions of that game. So Star Wars Battlefront, they released it on PS2. They released it on the Black Label plus the Greatest Hits Red Label, but they also have it on original Xbox as well. So if you already got it on PS2, you got to make sure you check off both versions unless you want both versions potentially, or if you want it on original Xbox as well. So that's why when I get a game, I check all versions of the console, or at least I try to, just to make sure that I don't get that game again just on a different console. Because if I already have the game, I already have the game. I mean, there's obviously circumstances like I got Mario Sunshine on the GameCube, but I also got it as part of the 3D All Stars on the Switch. So there's some reasons, but like for me, on most games, 90% of games, if I got it, I got it. I don't need it on 3 different things. Yeah. They also have a wish list feature of, hey, these are some games I'm looking out for. If you have it, I'd love to get it. Don't expect Earthbound or something expensive like that, because you're not going to get that in your $40 box here. But Super Mario World or, I don't know, a SpongeBob game, something like that, if you've been looking for that for a while, you might be able to get that in your box. So that's kind of nice. And I'm usually pretty good at getting a wish list item in almost every one of my boxes, and I have for the past like year and a half because, well, I got a lot of wish list games. Just most of them are simple $5, $7 games that I'm like, you know what, I'll get it in Retro Game Treasure, so I'm not really worried about spending that $5 to $7 in a store when I could put that $5 to $7 towards, I don't know, a Zelda or Mario or whatever kind of game. Yeah. So anyway, back to the survey. You fill out on how important this stuff is to you, like the condition and all that stuff, and if you've been playing video games for a while, if you're new to video game collecting, all that stuff. I don't know why that's relevant, but maybe if you're like new to collecting, they might send you more like big titles, the Marios and stuff. I don't know on how that works. Then of course there's the consoles, like I said earlier, that's pretty important. The genres is also very important. So if you like platformer games or shooter games or RPGs, check off what you like, leave off what you don't like. There's a lot of people out there, myself included, not that big into sports games, so yeah, don't check off sports games and you won't get sports games. If you like sports games, then sure, yeah, check that off. I'm sure they'll send you plenty of those because they'll be like, alright, cool, this person likes sports games. It's like one of the 5% of the people in the entire world that have our service that are actually into having sports games. Yeah, that's just not me, but that could be you, and that's fine. You can get sports games in your box, or like wrestling games, or whatever. Yeah, so there's the genres, and there's also like a secondary category that's almost as important as well. Like if you like getting anime-based games, or like I said, the wrestling games, or Disney games, or whatever. It's kind of like a sub-genre. And yeah, you would check those off as well. Check off that you like getting imports, if you like getting accessories, if you have like a Super Scope or a Nintendo Zapper or a mouse, stuff like that. You might get games that are compatible with those other um, components as well. You might get an additional item like last month I got some Nintendo stickers. That was really cool. So you might, on rare occasions, get an additional item like that as well. Memory card or a stylus for a DS, Nintendo cards, stuff like that. You might get some of that in your box as well. So, I mean, the service, it's pretty cool at times. There are times where it kind of infuriates me a little bit. Um, watch the last video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I've been rambling on for a while. I think I covered everything. I bounced around a lot on talking about this, talking about that, and I think I covered everything, and I probably repeated some things multiple times, so I apologize to future me, and if some of that's important, well, then you're going to have to listen to me ramble. Um, yeah, let's get to it. So, as always, I got my knife. Taking the box out of frame so that way you guys don't see my address. And then of course close the knife and have the box backwards so that way we don't get spoilers on what our next game is. But first up is, as always, the most important part is our Air Defender Light from DiscountYourPillows.com, where pillows are inflated, not prices. We got some big boys today. And, okay, I see what they are protecting. First up is a Game Boy Advance game. Okay, we got a Japanese import game from Hudson Soft. Future Me is putting right here, there we go, right here on what this game is. Because right now I have no idea. But I'm going to stall for a minute to allow some proper gameplay to be shared right here, so that way we know what game we're looking at, because I don't know, but Future Me knows, and obviously if you're watching this, then you guys know as well. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. And next up, I feel a PS4, I mean it could be PS3, but most likely PS4. So we got Just Die Already. Alright. Old People Mayhem Sandbox. Interesting. How will you survive in a world that wants you to just die already? You're an old retired person in near future where people aren't having any children. There isn't anyone to pay for pensions to do those ungrateful millennials who prefer playing video games instead of doing actual work. This... I gotta open this up. The disc is rattling around, but this sounds interesting. I don't know what to expect from this. This game came out in 2021, so this is from the current decade, but is apparently retro game treasure material to have a game from the current decade in your box. This game's only 2 years old, but it's retro apparently. And then the next one you can tell is an Xbox One game because I can feel the letters. Oh, did I just get this? So, here's a reminder. When you go on their website, make sure you remember to update all your games. So this is not the fault of Retro Game Treasure. This was the fault of me. I was dumb and I forgot to update this one in my database. So unfortunately I got 2 copies of this now. So I'll keep whichever one is better condition. But I mean, the one I got from GameStop is in good shape. This one is also in good shape, so I guess I'll keep the one that doesn't have the label on it. But yeah, so it happens. Unfortunately, that means that I only got 2 games I didn't have, but again, that's not RGT's fault. That was me being dumb. But that is a little upsetting. But anyway, that is what I got in this month's box. So I got 3 games, which that's standard. But here's all this stuff. So this is talking about the boss chest giveaway. Yeah, you guys saw it. Just pause it here. Boss chest giveaway where you can possibly win a new game console, and by new I mean old, obviously. But I remember one of the very first boxes I got, the Sega Master System, was the boss chest giveaway item where you can win a Sega Master System. Obviously, I didn't win that, and it took me a while to finally get a Master System, but I do have one, so that's exciting. That means that I can get a game for every console that Retro Game Treasure offers games for. I remember Genesis was one. I remember PS1 was one. So there's a few options as far as like boss chest giveaways. All you need to do is just take a picture of your box and post it on social media, their Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and you're entered, and there you go. But we are not done talking about video games just yet, because I got a big stack of goodies here. So let's clear off the table and show you guys what else I got. Okay, so I guess first I'll show off some GameStop purchases. So these 3 games I got together, which I got a complete in box Kirby Triple Deluxe on 3DS, which I don't really know much about this game, except it's a Kirby game. So this is pretty much the second Kirby game that's portable that I actually have, because I got this, and I got the original Kirby's Dream Land on the original Game Boy. So all the other Kirby games that I have are on a console of some sort, but I'm like, this is a complete in box Kirby game, I gotta get it. So I was excited to pick that up. I picked up Resident Evil Origins Collection, which is Resident Evil 0 and 1. So that's pretty exciting. I'll probably pick up the others in this remastered series as well. I do have Resident Evil 0. I don't have the first one, or I have the first one and not 0, something like that. I had 1 and not the other. But anyway, I picked this up. It's remastered, and the girl at GameStop said that Resident Evil is like her favorite series, so of course she's going to recommend it, and I'm like, okay, I'll buy it, because I don't know, it doesn't take much to convince me to buy a video game. Playing it, though, that's another story. The next one, you're like, why did you get this? Because don't you already have it? I do. But remember what I said earlier about like getting the same game, like Mario Sunshine on the GameCube plus 3D All-Stars? Well, yeah, I got Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. I got this on launch date when I got my Switch. But I found the Wii U version. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get it. Because you just don't see the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild, like, ever. So, yeah, I decided to go ahead and get it. And, well, Breath of the Wild doesn't really need much of an explanation. It's Breath of the Wild. I would say that it's one of the greatest Zelda games of all time. I enjoyed the little bit I played of the Switch version. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. I know, shame on me. You call yourself a Zelda fan, you haven't even touched Tears of the Kingdom. I know. Hey, I know. What'd I just say, though? Collecting video games? No problem. Playing video games? You're asking a lot. But I was really excited to add that to my collection anyway. Another day at GameStop. Another complete in box 3DS game. I got Animal Crossing New Leaf. This is the definitive version that can do amiibo stuff. It even has an amiibo card in there, so that's pretty cool. So apparently that's one of the best Animal Crossing games in the series, so I'm like, you know what? It's a Animal Crossing game I don't have. It is complete in box. Let's get it. I also picked up a 2DS, which I don't need because I've got a 3DS, but I don't have a 2DS, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and get it because I'm a collector. I want to have every iteration of all of Nintendo's stuff, so I want to have a 3DS, a 3DS XL, and the new 3DS, new 3DS XL, 2DS, new 2DS XL. Yeah, I want to have all those, just because I'm a collector and it's like a sick thing in my brain or something. But anyway, I got this, and naturally, future me has to block the screens from my ugly face being in the reflection there. But my one issue I have is apparently there was like a small bleach spot there. So if I find a better condition, I might get it. But for now, I'm happy with this 2DS. Anyway, I got that. This was something that I pre-ordered last year for it to finally come out this year. From Limited Run Games is Hime's Quest, which is the Crunchyroll mascot girl. Which she's in a top-down Legend of Zelda style game. Apparently, it is 1999. She's trying to stop the Y2K from happening, and it just looks fun. So I got it, and it actually is on an original. Well, kinda. I mean, it doesn't say Game Boy on it, but it's on a Game Boy Color cartridge. I believe it can be played on an original Game Boy Color, so that is really cool. You got a poster that comes with it too. Well, I mean, it's kind of a poster. It's a little poster, but it comes with that. It's got like the little manual thing with some really nice artwork. It's got like your item inventory stuff. Naturally has the story. I shared this on my Instagram as well, which, by the way, I have an Instagram, so follow me on there. I don't post a lot, but I try to post interesting stuff at least. Sometimes. I try to. But one of the neat things with this, and I'd love to get both versions, there was a version that was released with Limited Run Games, which was this pretty cool blue cartridge, but if you would have ordered it through Crunchyroll, you would have gotten an orange cartridge. I wanted to order both, but Crunchyroll sold out already, but I was still able to pre-order one of the two at least, so I can play it. That's kind of the important part, I guess, is playing it, but I'd love to get the Crunchyroll version as well, just to have both versions. Not done yet. The next thing I got 2 autographs from Charles Martinet. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Martinet. I say Martinet. The voice of Mario, and he signed my copy of Mario 3D All-Stars. Because, well, as you guys probably know, Charles has stepped down from his role of voicing Mario in the new game that comes out, October or sometime next month, is the first to not feature Charles as the voice of Mario. But he is an ambassador for Mario, and he's still going to go to conventions and meet fans, because he voiced Mario from 1996 to, 2023. Or 22, I don't know. Did a Mario game come out this year? Probably, I don't know. But this was a big deal. But anyway, I got him to sign both my Mario 3D All-Stars game, plus one of my favorite GameCube games of all time, Luigi's Mansion. And I love this. He wrote, "Help." And that was so funny. And he also signed this, haha on the back. It was so good. Charles had an amazing sense of humor. He was so fun to talk to. So much energy. Just such a friendly guy. And I got a chance to ask him a question. And I'm like, alright, I got a question for you of long debated, what is Mario saying in Mario 64 when Mario's throwing Bowser off the platform? He He's rolling his eyes because I know he's been asked that question 100 times. Because we all know he is not saying "so long, gay Bowser." I know that's what everybody thinks he says, but we know better. Come on, guys. It's Mario. He's not going to say that. But I said, I know that a lot of people thought that he says "so long, King Bowser." And he says, well, actually, yeah, that was one of the original suggestions, was "so long, King Bowser." But he said that they had several takes. They tried this, they tried that, and just to see on what stuck. And he slowed it down, "so long, Bowser." And that is what he said. This is coming directly from Charles himself. And so it's "so long, Bowser." That is what he is saying. But he had a really funny story where I don't know if he went to Germany or it was a man that was from Germany. And this man asked him, why does Mario always say Mexico? And Charles looked at him really confused. What do you mean, Mexico? Well, every time that Mario says something, he says Mexico. And he had to explain that it's let's go. Like, let's go. But apparently it got misinterpreted to Mexico. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And I had to share that story with you guys because I'm sure you guys got a lot of enjoyment out of that story, just like I did. But like I said, that was a fun interaction. He got to sign a couple of my games. I'm hoping to meet him again in November. And maybe I'll have a couple more games for him to sign. And who knows, maybe I'll think of another question to ask him that would be fun to share with you guys. But anyway, Charles was great. I enjoyed talking to him. I also met Johnny Young Bosch, who voiced, I got him to sign for Sabo in One Piece, Lelouch in Code Geass, and Vash from Trigun. Got a couple anime figures. I'm not really here to talk about all the anime stuff, but there we go. There's Doflamingo from One Piece. There's Kohaku from Dr. Stone. But I also got a lot of video games, and that's what I want to talk about is the video games. I mean, this is a video game channel. We just like anime, but we're here to talk about video games. So, first up, I got a Game Genie for the Sega Genesis. I don't really know what cheats we can do on the Genesis, but who knows? If you guys have some good cheats for the Genesis, let me know. Hey, if we can get infinite lives and Zombies Ate My Neighbors, maybe me and Kaj can actually play that on the channel, because I'm terrible at that game, but I love it. Kaj says he's terrible at that game, which I don't believe that, because he's good at everything he does, but that could be something, or I don't know. I've never really experimented with the Game Genie before, but now I've got a Game Genie on both the NES and the Sega Genesis. I got Double Dragon 3 on the original Nintendo. I've got 1 and 2, and I got a funny story with that, where I remember I was in a mood to play the NES, and I'm like, okay, what game do I want to play today? And I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, I've got Double Dragon? I've wanted to play that game for the last year, and it's already just sitting in my collection? So, yeah, that was a fun scenario of, when did I get this game? Because I've wanted to play it for a while, and I already have it. So, anyway, I got Double Dragon 1, I think I have 2, and now I got 3. And speaking of very popular sequels, I got Castlevania IV, which is considered the best of the Nintendo original and Super Nintendo era of games. This is considered the best out of the 4. I mean, out of the original trilogy on NES, naturally 3 was the best, but 4 came out, and 4 apparently blew 3 out of the water and all that. So I was really excited to get this one. I've been looking for this for a while, so I was very excited to add Castlevania IV to my collection as well. And to finish off my trilogy of cruising games on the 64 is Cruisin' Exotica. So last year I went to Torg, a gaming convention in Columbus, and I got both World and USA. Exotica was the third one in the series. I mean, just a standard racing game, but I just wanted it. I wanted the whole trilogy. So now I got the whole trilogy in my collection. So naturally, future me is obviously showing gameplay of all these games. So here is a game that I kept thinking I already had, and it turns out I don't. I had to make sure all the discs were in there. Was Final Fantasy IX. So, I've got one, I've got 5, I think, subbed, and I got 7 and 8, and I've got some of the newer ones like 10, 11, and all those, but I didn't have 9, and 9 was one I thought I had, but I didn't have. So, outside of a crack here, overall this is in pretty good shape, and, so this came out in 2000. Wow. Game's 23 years old. Future Me is going to also post all the dates for these games as well, because these don't have the dates on them. Oh, by the way, oh yeah, like I just said, Future Me is going to have all the dates for like these and these, and yeah, okay. Anyway, I got Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on the GameCube. Unfortunately, it's missing the manual, but everything else is in pretty good shape on it. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, there's a little thing there, but I mean, this game is, what, 2005? Yeah, this is 2005. And I remember when this was a brand new game, because I'm like, this game's pretty cool. And, I mean, naturally, I needed the bongos, which I do have, because I bought Donkey Konga years ago, and it came with the bongos. So, anyway, this is another game that uses that. So, you got Donkey Konga 2, and Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and those are the 3 that use the bongos. So I got 2 of the 3 that use that. So anyway, I was excited to pick that up, and I adore the GameCube. So if there's another GameCube game that I can get, well, I'm going to do that. This was another game I was excited to get, was Fortune Street on the Wii, which was, I'm trying to remember. I know that Kaj showed this game to me. And I know it's got Mario characters, I know it's got Dragon Quest characters, and it's some weird collaboration between Square Enix and Nintendo, and it's like Monopoly or something. So it's almost Mario Party-esque, but not quite, but I mean, it's complete in box. I mean, the case is kind of gross, but I can clean that up. But, yeah, anyway, I got Fortune Street as well. And not really a best for last. I'm just going in kind of chronological order here. But I got a game on the Wii U, Sonic Lost World. Yeah, this one's complete in box, because there's the manual. I mean, it's kind of a sorry excuse for a manual. It's that, but anyway, it's got the manual. This game came out 2012. And I realized after I bought all this that I have a game from all of Nintendo's home consoles, from the NES all the way up to the Wii U. If I would have got a Switch game, then that would have been like everything. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff here. Especially when you throw in... Well, I'll go ahead and throw that back in there. But especially when you throw that in, and that, and that. A lot of great games here. A lot of games I'm excited to add to my collection. So as always, if you see a game that you'd love to see played on the channel, let me know. I'll write on the list, and hopefully someday get around to playing those. I haven't been able to record a lot lately. There's been a lot of personal issues, life issues, health issues, not me, but life and health issues that have prevented me from recording a lot. So I apologize if you don't see a lot of content on the channel lately outside of the unboxing video, because, like, well, that takes like 20 minutes or whatever to record. That's not a big deal. But as far as like sitting down to record some video game footage, that's a little bit more than I'm able to do right now. So thank you for your patience as far as like there's still content to watch, and there's still all the old content that you guys probably haven't seen yet, because I've got like 1,000 videos on this channel of things to watch. So you guys probably have a lot that you haven't seen yet, but I haven't like walked away from the channel. I haven't walked away from Let's Play stuff. I just haven't been able to do it. So hopefully soon I can get back to it, because I've been really itching to play some Pokemon Coliseum and reach the next area And I've got so many ideas of games I want to play on the channel next, whether that's by myself or with Kaj or with Phoenix or with Citrus or all four or whatever combination it is. So I'm just saying, please be patient, and and just hope that you are able to enjoy the content I am posting. With that being said, I guess that's kind of the end of this video. So if you haven't yet, don't forget to like the video, hit the bell so you're notified when another video comes out. Maybe I do get around to playing Fortune Straight on the channel, or Final Fantasy IX, or whatever you guys requested from me. Yeah, so that way you'll know when those come out. Follow me on Facebook, where I have, well, pretty much just these videos I post on Facebook as well. If I get big enough on Facebook, then maybe I can do like polls of what you guys want to see on the channel next. I'd love to be able to set up a Patreon at some point too, but actually I think I do have one. I don't think I've done anything with it though, because like I don't even have like any tiers set up, because I'm like, I don't even know what to set up for tiers. I think one of them was like, oh yeah, join the Patreon to join the Discord. I'm like, you know what, just join the Discord if you want, because I was trying to build a community, and it's not fair that some people have to pay and some don't, or what. I don't know. I'm still figuring things out. Like, I'm not new to YouTube and all that stuff, but I'm a small channel. I don't know what I'm doing with this. But anyway, like I said, I do have a Discord. So you can follow me on there. We talk about video games, of course, anime, Pokemon, post memes. We have anime watch night, which, by the way, that's Thursday. So if you want to stop by for some anime, that's happening on Thursday. Just pointing that out there. All you need to do is say, I want to join your Discord. I'll be like, cool, here's an invite. Here you go. And you can hang out with me and my fellow community of nerds, where we have fun, hang out, nerd out. And, well, I guess that's all I really have to say. I rambled on a lot at the end there, but if you guys have been around for a while, you know that that's what I do. I don't know when to shut up, except for when I'm really quiet for no reason. But when I talk, I don't shut up. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.